she's like, nothing is working. And she just said, I have to get the scissors. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, I have to cut the dress, like, in half for you to get out of it. And then I was in shock.
Hey, beautiful, 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 beautiful angel. Love your imperfections, every anger. Tomorrow comes and goes before you know. So I just...
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So welcome back to Kel's Place, everybody. It's time for a new video in a new week. So this week's been pretty crazy, you guys. There's a lot I have to update you guys with, which is actually a reflection of this video today. So I'm actually, again, so I'm in my car, I'm at work. I'm kind of one of those days where I'm just waiting to go into work. As you can see, like, okay, if you guys remember the last video that I did, it was based on, me and my friends did a commercial for our group project, and sorry about all the noise in the background. I have, like, you know, my car and everything. Let me just upload the windows for you guys. So, what happened is that I did a video last time, and it was based on the commercial. It was due for a group, project assignment. Again, it'll be at the end of the video for my previous videos if you guys want to take a look at it. I'm actually getting quite a few more views on that one. I don't know why. I mean, I hope it's funny. I hope that's the reason why people are looking at it. I think it was a really great video. I did the filming, I did the editing, so, because I'm a YouTuber, so I know how to edit. So that's why they had me do that. But yeah, I really loved enjoying doing that video, and I did my 2 videos last week, and I was supposed to do 2 videos this week, but I'm only gonna do, I believe, this video for this week, just because today's Thursday, and I'm going out of town, tomorrow for work, and then Saturday I'm gonna try to do a video. I may or may not, because it's Saturday. I'm gonna be exhausted because I'm going out of town like all day for work, so I'm gonna be gone like literally from like 7 in the morning to like I won't even be back home until like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. I'm just gonna go to bed like right when I get home. So I was supposed to do a video Monday. However, so this is what my video is kind of based upon. So I actually started doing this professional gym training with my professional trainer. He's actually one of the best trainers probably in California. He's very well known if you're a gymnast. I mean, I don't know if he's well known, but he is pretty famous for what he does. He's actually been on news, like on, you know, like he's been, you know, featured on the news because he's had amazing results from his clients. Like, literally, if like you are overweight and you go to him and you like give him for 3 months to work with you, like you will literally drop a bunch of weight and you will look amazing. Like, these women and men who go to him, they look fantastic after just a few months. And this is my first week with my trainer. His name is Ivan, and he's great. So literally my whole life, you guys, is about to change into so much better, because I've been trying to lose weight for a long time. I'm sure I've mentioned it before in a couple of past videos, and my weight has always been a really big problem for me with my health and everything. It's not like I'm unhealthy, but I've been eating very unhealthy for the last couple of years, so it's been really being pushed on my weight a lot, and that's why I decided to get Ivan as my trainer, because he's really famous pretty much in California and in my town as well, because we're in a small community, so we're very lucky to have Ivan as a professional gym trainer. I'm actually paying him $250 for 3 months, which is actually a pretty good deal. I don't think it's that expensive. I thought it was pretty great. I will be with him for the next 3 months, and I will probably be with him for even like for the rest of my life after that, just because, you know, I doubt I'm gonna lose all my weight in like 3 months. It's probably gonna be more of like a 6 month to a year process, but at least in 3 months, I'm definitely gonna be seeing way better results in just like a short 3 months. Especially because I'm young, I'm only 24, and a lot of people say when you're 24, you lose weight faster, you get better results. You know, the earlier you start working out, the easier it is to lose and the easier it is to keep it off. Because once you're older, it's way harder to lose it, and then it's so easy to get it all back. So you're probably wondering, you're not even that fat, Kel. Like, why are you losing all this weight? My weight is actually a huge deal to me, unfortunately, because of me being a little bit overweight, it has literally drained my self-confidence, you guys. Like, I am literally not happy with my life, and I believe the majority of that reason is because of my looks, because of my weight. When I was in high school, I used to be this really confident person, probably like in my sophomore, junior, and senior year, I want to say. I had a pretty good body at the time. You know, I wasn't like a supermodel, Victoria's Secret model or kind of body, but I had like a decent body. You know, I was thinnish, you know, I had nice curves, you know, like a lot of guys liked my body, you know, I was really confident about myself. And that's what you should be. A woman should be confident in her own body. I mean, I hope they are, right? But the unfortunate thing at the time was when I was in high school is that I thought I had, you know, everyone told me I had a good body and everything, but me, myself, I never thought I had a good body. Like, I still thought I was fat. Like, I'd always complain how fat I was. Be like, I'm super fat. And guys, I was not fat. I was like a size 7 in jeans. Like, yeah, I was a size 7 in jeans. I'm a size 9 in jeans now. So I've gained 1 pant size up. But I was size 7 at the time. I was literally like a size 6 or 8 in a dress, which is not that big. It's actually pretty good average size. It's like a smallish kind of size. I mean, I was fitting into a 6. That's pretty good. That's kind of on the smaller side for a lot of women. And, you know, I was always complaining about my weight to my parents. I was just like, you know, I'm fat. I'm like horribly fat. You know, like I just always thought I was fat, like literally all the time. I was never happy with my body. But the thing is, at the same time, though, I was very confident, too. So it's like, I knew I had a decent body, but it wasn't good enough for me. So I would feel self-conscious sometimes when I would try on clothes. You know, because I wanted to be as thin as my friend. You know, like Amber, for example. Amber had a great body, you know, in high school. Like, she was fit, she had abs, she had a great body. I wanted, like, a body like her. But the problem for me was I never did any sports. So I was never able to achieve that body easy. You know what I mean? I mean, I think if I had gone to the gym in high school, then obviously that probably would have worked out better, but I could not afford a gym at that time, and my mom wasn't going to pay for a gym because she thought I was skinny this whole time. So I've had self-conscious issues since I was about 12 to 13 years old, actually. So it's been happening for a while, like the way I feel about my body. And the truth is that, unfortunately, it started with my parents. And I think that's like the most saddest thing, is because I love my parents. Like, I love my mom, I love my dad. I'm very close with them. They're my life, especially my mom. You guys seen it. She's my best friend. I could not live without my mom. Like, she's my everything. But growing up, like, since I want to say it started around 12. My parents were always really on me about my weight. And I was never fat as a kid. Like, yeah, I'd eat hot Cheetos and, like, junk food, and I loved ice cream. Like, yeah, I wasn't, like, the thinnest kid, but I was never fat as a kid. I was always just kind of average. You know, I had a stomach. Like, I had a little tummy, you know, but I was always active in school, you know, elementary school, middle school, because, you know, they had you do PE and sports. So it's not like I was gaining weight either, if that makes sense. I was just kind of always just at a standstill. But my parents always got on me about my weight. You know, they'd always tell me, you need to lose weight. You need to lose weight. Like, you're really, you know, you're looking fatter and fatter. Like, literally, you guys, I would almost hear almost every day of my life. Like, they would always tell me, you need to go on walks. You need to go for a run. You need to lose some of that weight off. All the time. And to me, that's sad, because what 12-year-old wants to hear that they need to lose weight? A 12-year-old is a 12-year-old. A 12-year-old should, you know, do whatever they want, eat whatever they want, you know, just kind of have fun as a kid, you know? That's what I always thought my life should have been like. Not always constantly having to hear, you're fatter, you're getting fat, hey, watch the pounds, don't eat too much ice cream, like, you're gonna get fat. That's the thing my parents would always tell me, especially my dad. He was like the worst, because he'd be like, stop it, like, you're getting fatter, like, you need to shed those pounds, like, look at you, like, you stop it. Like, he'd be really rough with me, and I would always get my feelings hurt. And because of that, my self-confidence just dwindled, and it was literally dying, because I felt like I was fat because of my parents kept telling me that, you know, and I was never happy with my body. You know, I was always self-conscious. I never liked myself. I always wanted to be like other girls, and I was never comfortable in my own skin. You know, I just was never, I never thought I was good enough. And it caused a lot of problems for me, you know, in high school, especially because I still kept hearing it. You're going to get fat, stop shedding the pound, start shedding the pounds, stop eating ice cream. Literally, even in high school, I would always hear it. Now, you're probably thinking, well, it's probably because your parents cared about you. True. Now, I'm not saying, but the thing is, though, you guys, if you saw my body, you would have, like, said the same thing. Like, man, like, stop telling that girl that, like, she doesn't need to lose weight. She's perfectly fine. Now, there are some serious cases where I've seen on television where kids do tend to overeat a lot. So I get that, because I've seen a lot of kids who are very obese, and it's a very problematic, and a lot of kids are very obese these days, especially with the food and everything, and parents aren't very, they hate telling their kid no when it comes to eating food, and that's how these kids become obese. It's a disease, I believe so. And so I know that there's those situations, and obviously that's something completely different, because obviously this child needs to learn how to eat properly and start eating vegetables and fruits and stuff like that, and they have to go through like therapy or something so they could start eating healthy. That's like a long process. I know some kids go through that, but I was never one of those kids, thankfully. However, I was never fat though, but yet it was never good enough for my parents. Never. And in high school, I would keep hearing the same thing. You're getting fatter. Like, like, what the heck? Start losing weight, go on runs. Like, you look at it was just awful. It was just really bad. And then my dad, both my parents kept saying the same thing all the time. And so then when I was 18 years old, I was a senior. And I was actually at my thinnest as a senior, and I still felt fat. And it was because my parents, because they kept telling me, like, no, like, yeah, like, you're okay, but you can do better, kind of thing, like, you can lose more weight, you can look good as your cousins. They'd always compare me to my cousins. You could look as good as your cousin, Alexa, for example, like, she's thin, you should be like her, like, they'd always compare me to them, and it would be heartbreaking for me, because again, it would like break my self-confidence. And so when I was a senior in high school, I became bulimic, and I struggled with bulimic for years after that. It started when I was 18, and it first lasted for just like 2 to 3 months, and I dropped a lot of weight because I was eating and throwing it up. And I eventually told my mom the truth about my bulimic ways, and my mom was heartbroken. My mom yelled at me and screamed at me, and she's like, how could you do that to your body? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, don't you know that's sick? And I screamed back at her face, and I just told her, you did this to me. You and my dad did this to me. You guys are always on me for losing weight, for looking fat. Look what you've done to me. It's because of you that I feel this way. It's like, I know I'm not even fat, but you make me look like I am. So I'm trying to get this body that, in a way that's going to hurt me even more. And I told my mom that, and I screamed it at her, and she started crying. My mom felt so emotional about it, because she finally realized what she and my dad were doing to me. And it was breaking my self-confidence. It was making me sick, literally sick. And after that, I stopped being bulimic for a while, and then I think it was in community college where I kind of gained a lot more confidence in community college, and I had actually gained like about 15 pounds since high school, because like the freshman 15, you're gonna start eating a little bit more junk food, whatever's on campus. That's totally normal. And I gained 15 pounds, but I still looked pretty good. Like I actually looked better, because I actually filled out a lot of spots, and I was still really good, like a good curvy kind of way, and my hair was longer. I just was looking good in a lot of the outfits that I was wearing. I was always showing my stomach. I was feeling way more confident about myself in community college. I had a lot of relationships. I dated a lot. Guys liked me. I was pretty attractive. I thought I looked pretty good at the time. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still had my maybe self-esteem issues, me comparing myself to a girl who's completely flat with abs, that'd be like, oh man, like I wish I had her body, but it's kind of like, oh well, I just kind of dealt with it, but I was starting to like my body a lot more. My dad was still kind of on my case about it, but I kind of learned to tune my dad out. And then as for my mom, she got a lot better with it. I mean, it would kind of slip sometimes. She would just tell me like, oh, like, are you eating well? Like, you've gained a couple pounds, you know, but I would always tell her, I finally learned how to fight back, and I would always tell her, you know, Mom, mind your own business, like, I've got it taken care of, I'm fine, I'm eating well at school, that's the only thing that you should be concerned about. So she would leave it alone. She wouldn't really want to get on my case anymore because she didn't want to hurt me again. And then it wasn't until when I transferred to Sacramento University and things became a lot different. I developed a lot of weight problems, and I began eating out a lot, almost like 3 to 4 times a week, and I was in a sorority, so I was drinking a lot. I had a drinking problem because I was partying so much. I was literally like binge drinking all the time. And then with fast food, that's really bad for your body. And I was not working out. I was not working out still. So when I came back home for like the holidays, my family was in shock because I had gained so much weight when I came back for Thanksgiving. Like literally, I had gained like 10, I gained like 10 to 12 pounds within like 2 months. It was really bad, you guys, like really bad. And, it wasn't that bad at the time, I guess. So then my mom, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to lower the windows. I'm getting like really hot in here. So my mom, she was concerned, and she told me, you know, what's going on, like, why are you doing this, like, what's going on at school? But I would just pretty much tell her, like, oh, well, it's just college, like, I'm just eating a lot more fast food and everything. And she just kind of told me, just be careful, like, I don't want you getting too overweight, you know, like, you were totally fine when you left for school, I just don't want you, you know, she didn't want me to be unhealthy. And I got that. So I went back, and I kind of controlled my weight a little bit more. I didn't eat as much, but I was still eating out a lot, I was still drinking, so I still wasn't exactly stopped yet. And then, again, and that's when I became really depressed at school. It was just for a bunch of self-esteem issues that I had with myself. And I did not like my body anymore. Like, you know how I was confident in community college? I completely lost that confidence. Like, I was always criticizing myself, I was always telling myself I was fat, I was ugly. At that point, I was even telling myself that I was ugly. You know, like, it was horrible. You know, like, I just was always comparing myself to all the girls in my sorority, at school, and I was always, you know, guys didn't really find me attractive anymore at Sacramento. Like, they didn't really find me attractive. Like, I was trying these dating sites, and guys weren't wanting to go out with me because I looked way different in person, because I was sending pictures from like community college when I looked great, and then when they would meet up with me, I would look completely different, and so they would like cut me off. Because you know, I don't have the body like I did in my pictures, and it would literally like get me down so much. Like, I would feel so upset about it, and because of that, I ate more, and then my bulimic problems came back. So I was dealing with bulimia all over again. So between the 2 years I was in Sacramento, I was literally bulimic like 3 times. So I was still struggling with it. And my mom knew something was wrong, but she didn't really know if anything was wrong. She was kind of confused on what was happening. So it was just a complete mess, and I was depressed at the same time, to make what matters worse. So then I went home. I went home for the Christmas of 2017. So it was my second Christmas going back for the holidays in Sacramento. And that's when I really, really gained a lot of weight, like a lot of weight. I'm actually going to display a picture right here for you guys, so you guys can see how much weight that I had fully gained. And if you can see in this picture, it was really bad, you guys. Like that was the most weight I had ever gained in my entire life. I was weighing at 172 pounds. That was at one of my pageants and stuff, and I actually still won, so kudos to them for not looking at the weight problem. But I was weighing at 172 pounds, and when I went home for that Christmas, my mom was hysterical. My whole family was, because they could not believe I had gained even more weight, and it was even a worse outcome. And my mom, she just sat me to the side, and she's like, what's going on? Like, you need to tell me the truth. And I told her I was depressed at school, you know, and because I was depressed at school, I was gaining all this weight. You know, that's how I coped was with eating. And she was really upset about it, and she couldn't believe that I was doing it myself. Like, she couldn't believe I was doing this to myself. And she's just like, you need to stop. Like, you need to stop overeating. Like, this is becoming serious. Like, you're becoming, like, really unhealthy, you know? And she would try to talk to me about it, and I would kind of deny it. But then something really bad happened. And I don't like telling the story, but I feel like it needs to be told. Because, well, you know, it just needs to be told. With that holiday when I was visiting, it was almost Christmas. I had come home like about 5 days before Christmas, and I didn't have a Christmas dress. So my mom said, okay, we're gonna go look for a Christmas dress at the mall. So we went to the mall, and we went into Forever 21. And it was really bad, you guys, like really bad. So I found this dress. It was really beautiful. It had like red and green flowers on it. It was like a white dress with red and green flowers, and it was a spaghetti strap, and it was a large. It was a zipper. And I was like, Mom, I want to try this dress on. It looks really pretty. And my mom just said, are you sure that's gonna fit? And I was like, oh yeah, it's a large. It has to fit. It's a large. I never wore anything more than a large at Forever. Like, because, you know, Forever is technically considered really petite. So I would either wear medium or large, but I would never be, like, more than a large. Like, I know they have, like, a couple extra larges there sometimes, but I was never an extra large. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to go try this on. And my mom said, okay, well, I'm going to go upstairs and look at the shoes. I'll come back. And I said, okay. So I went into the fitting room and I tried on the dress. And it was a zipper. And I tried zipping it halfway up. And I was literally forcing it because I wanted it to fit. But I realized it wasn't going to fit. It was way too small. And it was because I had gained all that weight. And I tried taking off the dress, and it wasn't coming off. Like, it wasn't budging. And I was getting scared. And I'm like, oh my God, like, this dress isn't coming off. Like what the hell, you know? And I called my mom and I was like, Mom, this dress isn't coming off. And she's like, are you sure? And I was like, yes, you have to come down. So my mom came down, and my mom is really good with zippers, and so she tried zipping it down, and literally nothing was working, you guys. Like, she was trying for 5 minutes and nothing was budging me out of this dress. Like, it was stuck. And I was so upset. And then my mom's like, we have to call the girl over, like the manager or whoever. And I'm like, no, don't call them. And my mom's like, yes, like, we can't get you out of this dress. I have to call someone so they can help you get out of this dress. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, this is so humiliating. But I was like, okay, fine, like, call someone. So 2 girls came over, and then the manager was really nice, and she's like, okay, is the dress stuck? And I was like, yes, please help me get out of it. And she's like, okay. And she tried for like 5 minutes to try to take the zipper down, and nothing was working, you guys. Literally nothing was working. And she was like, okay. She's like, nothing is working. And she just said, I have to get the scissors. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, I have to cut the dress, like, in half for you to get out of it. And then I was in shock. I was like, no. Like, there has to be another way. And the girl was like, I'm sorry, but this dress isn't budging. I have to cut the dress off with the scissors. And so she went back to the front, and then she came back with the scissors, and she's like, okay, are you ready? And I was just kind of like, I guess. And she literally, like, she literally cut the dress in half so I could step out of that dress. That's how tight it was, and that's how much weight I had gained. And she was so nice about it. She's like, don't worry, you don't have to pay for the dress. It was an accident, you know, it's fine. She was really nice, and her and the other girl left. And then my mom was like, okay, well, like, are you okay? Like, do you want to keep looking? Do you want to go home? You guys, I was miserable. I was miserable after that day. When I got home, I cried for hours, you guys. Like, it was so horrible, because at that point I realized how unhealthy I was and how much weight that I gained, and I felt so ugly and fat, and I couldn't believe that was happening to me. And it was so humiliating. It's like one of the most humiliating things that I've ever been through in my entire life. And I was blaming myself because, oh my God, this is all my fault. Like, I made myself gain this much weight. Like, you know, it's my own fault. And I cried for days. Like, I was so miserable. I couldn't even tell my best friend Amber about it because I was so embarrassed. Like, I was so humiliated. Like, I could not believe that happened. So after that, I started going like on jogs with my mom. Like I started running with her, and I was actually gonna move back home because I thought I was getting dismissed from Sacramento State, so I knew like I had to move home. So between that time, I started like working out at home, going on my runs with my mom, and drinking like this really good green tea that helps you with like bloating and helps you lose weight. And literally, guys, it saved my life. Like starting jogging, starting to drink the tea, like I had dropped 5 pounds within 1 week. 5 pounds in a week without eating junk food, fast food, just going on my runs and just drinking my tea. Just 5 pounds already, and I was already looking good. Just 5 pounds, like literally, like the fat was like coming off my face. Like I was looking a lot better already. And then I found out that I was able to go back to Sacramento, and my mom gave me a choice: do you want to stay home or do you want to go back? And I chose to go back for another semester at Sacramento, just to see how things would work out. And I kept up my workout in Sacramento. I was going to the gym 4 to 5 times a week. I was drinking my tea every single day. I was eating healthy all the time. Like I was no longer getting fast food, junk food. I was never eating any of it. I lost about 25 pounds. So I came home for Easter in March, and I realized we weighed myself, and I lost 25 pounds. And it was like the greatest thing ever, because I did that by myself, you know, and it made me realize I looked so, to me, I looked great. I looked beautiful. I was looking greater. I was looking even more and more, like, I was just looking great. I was looking great more and more. That's what I'm trying to say. I was looking great more and more. Like, as each day went by, I was losing weight. But then something happened, and I got depressed again, and I started gaining weight all over. I lost my motivation going to the gym. I started eating out again. So by the time that I actually moved back that June, I had gained half of it back. And between June and now, I've gained the other half of it back. So minus a little. So I'm not at 172 like I was when I came home for that Christmas, but now I will tell you my weight. I'm not ashamed, because this is real life. I'm at 163. So I'm like about 10 pounds less than what I really was, you know, like when I was really weighing a lot. So, but I've gained a lot of it back when I've lost it. So that's why I'm doing this professional gym training, because I'm doing it for myself. If there are girls out there and you're doing it for other people, like your boyfriend or your parents, like, don't do that. Like, that's wrong. Like, don't do it because of them. You need to do it because you need to do it for you, to focus on yourself, to feel better about yourself. And that's what I'm doing this time. I'm doing it because I want to look good and I want to feel good. I am tired of not being confident anymore. I am tired of feeling ugly. I'm tired of feeling fat, because I know I'm not. I know I'm not ugly, and I know I'm not fat. I know that guys are attracted to me because I feel like I am pretty, you know, and I feel like losing this weight is just going to boost up my confidence, and it's going to make me love myself. You know, one of the reasons I don't love myself is because of my weight, you know, and I feel like if I just lose my weight and I start working on myself spiritually and emotionally, I will finally start to love myself, and I can finally start committing. Hopefully one day I can find someone I can start loving another person, because I'm not in a relationship right now because I can't love someone else. Literally. That's why I have no interest in dating, because I'm literally not going to be able to put the effort into a relationship, because I don't feel good about myself. And in order to feel good about myself, you know, like, you know, and to want a good relationship, I have to focus on me. And I think that's why I just want to talk to you guys about this in this video, because I just want to let you know that everyone goes through this. Everyone, girl, guy, goes through self-esteem issues, weight problems, and I'm just here to tell you that it's going to get better. And as long as you set your mind to it and you start thinking about yourself and putting yourself first, and you want to lose weight, then I say go for it. If you know you can do it, you can do it. I know I can do it. That's what I'm doing right now. Like, don't get me wrong. I can't even lift my arms up, because that's how out of shape I am, you guys. This gym trainer, Ivan, my trainer, is the best in the business. And literally though, like, I can barely move my arms. I'm finally able to stretch like this today. Like, before, I was like only like reaching my arm like right here. Like, I couldn't even go over my head. That's how bad my arms have been hurting lately. And yesterday was leg day, and I'm feeling the burn, literally. But again, it's like, to me, it's worth it, because I'm working on myself, and in the end, I'm gonna be so much happier. And that's all I've ever really wanted. And I'm not doing it for my parents, you know? Like, I love my parents, don't get me wrong, but they didn't exactly do the right thing when I was growing up, telling me that I was fat and I needed to lose weight. That's not something a parent should tell their child when they're not even remotely fat. You know, just because they're not their ideal look of their child. You know, you want your child to look a certain way, well, they're still your kid. You need to love them no matter what. If you want them to lose weight, encourage them in doing sports, soccer, cheerleading. Don't make it worse by telling them you look fat. No, just tell them, hey, we should enroll you in soccer, or hey, we should do some sporting activities together. Let's go play outside. That is going to make your kid feel 100% better, and that's going to be 100% supporting your kid in a positive way. And that's what I'm going to do with my kids. So this is my story on how my weight problems have been happening all my life since I was 12 years old. This is how I'm fixing it. This is how it's going to end. Thank you guys for listening. My next journey for the next 3 months is going to be insane, and there's going to be a lot of changes to myself. And I hope you guys are just going to be along for the ride, and you're going to see me change week by week. It's my first week of training. I've got 11 to go. So, and that's just the beginning. And I'm probably going to continue even more after that. But that's it for me today, you guys. Please don't forget to watch my last video, the commercial that I did with my friends. Please don't forget to follow me on social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Snapchat, all at the end of the video. All at the end of the video, and all of the links down below. Please don't forget to subscribe, like my video, comment. Do you relate to this? Have you had weight problems? Have you been the same thing with your parents? Do you have a crazy going shopping story like I had at Forever 21? Tell me your story and we can get through this together. I am definitely here for you guys. If you guys want to see more content, please comment down below. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time, most likely next week. Sorry for the only one video, but it's been kind of a crazy week with my gym training. But see you guys next time. Bye!